Pretty normal pregnancy. At 28 weeks, I was having some strange pains in my stomach and just really uncomfortable. So I called my doctor and they advised me to go into the ER and just get checked.
And they told us that, you know, her liver was starting to shut down and kidneys were starting to not work properly. So they said the only way to fix any of that is for her to give birth.
And so I had no idea. I had nothing with me, not ready at all. So my husband ran home really quick and grabbed a couple necessity items, and he came on the medevac flight with me to Anchorage. The preeclampsia, with it as severe as it was at that point, at only 28 weeks, they knew that I had to deliver within just hours. I guess a lot of my organs and things were starting to shut down, and so there was really no choice. That was the only way to fix it. And so yeah, they lost his heartbeat when we were in Anchorage, and that's why they did an emergency C-section right away. They were going to try to have like a natural birth, but it didn't work that way. So definitely didn't look like your typical newborn baby. In an incubator, hooked up to all sorts of cords and tubes and beeping monitors and things that I had no idea what they were, what they did, why he was hooked up to them. So it was definitely a learning process to figure out what all those things were and why he needed them and what his survival rate was at that point and what we could do for him. We didn't get to hold him. I held him when he was 5 days old, and my husband when he was 6 days old. And so it was really hard to just go in there and barely even be able to touch your baby, let alone hold them or take them home. It's a huge change from going to where your child's on monitors all the time. The minute they're not breathing for some reason, there's alarms going off everywhere. You know, so you come home and in our case, we didn't come home on any monitors. Some babies do. And so we didn't sleep. Like, we were on a schedule where one of us was always awake for like the first 2 weeks. And finally my mom said, you know, you guys can sleep at the same time. Like, you're gonna have to do that someday, you know. So we slowly, you know, worked towards that.
It's definitely good to have all the support we needed, especially when we got home, because we were so used to monitors and being able to see everything and you know, get an alarm if his breathing is messing up or any of that stuff, and then, you know, you kind of cut all the wires and you're just kind of there.
It really is like PTSD that they come out of the NICU with, and it's this very intense experience that's daily stress, and it's very scary a lot of days, and you don't know what's going to happen, and the doctors, you know, have to share the worst possible case scenario, and so they come home and they're just like, I just want to hold my baby, I just want some time without any beeps and nurses coming in and that. And I think that's part of the early intervention process, is walking them through that and saying, it's okay to have those feelings, you're moving forward now, but yeah, recognize that that was a really intense experience that many people don't go through, and it's something that, you know, you share with other families.
We had help in so many areas, and some we used more than others, but I think it absolutely helped. And like I said, he's a perfectly healthy little boy now.
Ozzi.
Ozzy's pretty phenomenal. He's done really well. When I first met him, his referral was because of head positioning and having a really hard time drinking from a bottle. So his weight gain was kind of slow, and the public health nurse was really concerned about that. So instead of tipping his head back to get more drink, you just tip the cup. And so it may not like gush in on him. And I could bring you one and you could try that and see if it stops some of the, and then with some of the thicker drinks in the cup, that may actually really slow it down. So we've gone through bottle feeding and improving that, and then moved on to pureed foods, which were, again, he wasn't a fan of them. And so we've been working through that, and he's gradually becoming a much better eater, and right now we're working on straw drinking. And then through that process also, we've just done ongoing developmental monitoring to make sure that he's progressing, and he walked right around his first birthday. Pretty amazing. It's been really fun. He developmentally is doing really well for as early as he was born.
If you think you need help, get help. I mean, that's your babies. I don't know, in my opinion, that's my number one right there. So whatever I got to do and if somebody else can help and help us do it better, then I'm all for it. And like I said, a lot of people caught stuff that we didn't, especially during the physical therapy stuff. They would, make sure he's bending right and check his joints and small stuff like that. And they started catching some stuff early on because he had a side preference with the neck and stuff. So it was really good to get him worked with and all that.
I think it's immensely important. The earlier we intervene, truly what our state says, the better off I see the children doing. But it needs to be right for the family at the right time. And so we really try to encourage them to let us know, is this helpful? What do you need? We don't come in and just tell them what to do and how to make it better. We really try to work with them and whatever other agencies they may be working with to give them that extra boost and hand up they need. And a lot of times we'll find when they're graduating at age 3, they're like, oh, wow, thank goodness. Now we're scared, we don't want to move on, come with us. But if we do it right, it's not an added stress. It really is a comfort and a support that they need.